Do you have an issue with your husband taking care of, someone else's children? However, when he marries, the wife, or marries, the other woman, that once again, those children are under his protection as well, because they are part of his family. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Nyla, Coach Nyla, co-founder of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. And in this video, I'm going to discuss a topic that has just flooded our DMs, flooded our emails, because it's one of the same things that's been brought up over and over and over again when it comes to co-wives. And the thing is that do co-wives have to be friends? Or is usually in a statement that he marries again, I don't want to know her, I don't want to know her kids, I don't want to be friends with her, I don't want her to know me, she stay over there, I stay over here, and we all can just live happily ever after that way. And that doesn't necessarily come out to be the case. For one, you are family, regardless if you want to believe it or not, because you are under the umbrella of your husband. Yes, he's the head of the family. He's the one that's trying to create a legacy and all this other stuff. Not saying that wives don't do it either, but your husband is the head of the family. So whoever he brings into the family, whether it's another wife, another child, or anything like that, they're still family under his protection, under his provision. So they're still family, regardless of if you want to see it that way or not. So I've seen a number of situations where co-wives who decided that they did not want to meet one another, not be cordial with one another, be forced to speak to one another, and not be forced in a way that the husband did it or that some person did it. It was that was how life happened. That something happened, a situation happened in their lives where they were forced to get together. That the families, because people say family, this family, that family, but that the sides of the families were forced to get to know one another, or forced to speak to one another. So the thing is, the question I ask when I get that question of do I have to be my co-wife's friend, or do I have to know my co-wife or get to know my co-wife, is that why wouldn't you want to? That is the question I ask. Why wouldn't you want to? Is it because she married the person that you were married to? That she married your husband? Because we get very possessive. Where it's like, this is mine, I don't want to share, I don't want anybody to have it. It is what it is when it comes to that. I'm not judging people who don't want to share, or I'm not judging anything like that. The thing is, though, is that you are family under his umbrella. So it's not, I've heard people state, well, he's willing to destroy one family to build another. He's not destroying any family to build another family, because they're all his family. That's his family, period. There may be different households, there are different dynamics, but when it all comes down to it, it's his family. Now, if they don't want to behave in that way, that's something that they have to deal with, as well as he has to deal with. But when it all comes down to it, you are one family under his umbrella, under his guise, under his protection, under his provision. So when it comes down to it, there's no separate families, regardless of how people want to see it. It's probably separate households, as I stated before, separate dynamics. When it all comes down to it, it's his family. So, you're a part of it. So it's your family too. However, it's his family and you guys are all related because of him. So when it comes down to it, that's my question. Why? Why do you not want to? Like I said, is it because this person married your husband? If that's the case, why is that the issue? Why is that the reason? Is it, do you feel some type of betrayal for something that is permissible? It's certain things that we have to ask ourselves. I've heard so many people say, well, the husband has to be honest about why he's getting married in the first place. He has to be honest and state that it's a sexual thing and this and that. But when he married you, when he married the first wife, was that the reason? So he can't marry anybody else for a different reason other than sex? Because you really don't have to get married the way that this world is going. That's not the prerequisite to sex, is getting married. Now, morally, you should. However, there are people that aren't married that's doing it, and they're not married. So it is what it is. So that's not necessarily the thing where people say, oh, well, he wants to make sure that he's doing it in a halal way, or he wants to do it in a moral way. Okay, well, when it comes down to it, a lot of men, what they want to do is expand their legacy. And in order to expand their legacy, that means having more children. And in order to have children, you have to have sex. So yeah, I guess so, if we want to put it like that, but we want to think logically. However, that's neither here nor there. When it comes down to it, the thing is that the reason why you don't want to get to know your co-wife? Is that the reason why you don't want to know if she had children in a previous marriage? Is this a reason why?
I am Coach Nazir.
And I'm Coach Fatimah, his wife.
And I am Coach Nyla. I am also his wife.
We are the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as the authors of the book,
Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored.
And I'm sure you're asking yourself, how can you get your hands on a copy of it right now? The great part is we're about to share that with you. But first, let me tell you about why you need to at least get your hands on one or maybe more copies, depending on where you are in your polygynous journey.
Some of the things that we discuss in our book are issues about trust, insecurities, jealousy among wives, and possibly even creating lasting friendships.
Especially friendships amongst co-wives. And we share in this book how you can understand that it takes a village, that polygyny is not some taboo topic or something that's going to leave women stranded alone and kids not loving each other or feel like they're left alone by their fathers or from their fathers or whatever the case may be. You will learn so much in this book. Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored.
Indeed, we lay down the practical steps that we wish we'd have had when we started our polygynous journey over 13 years ago. Well, the time is here, and all you have to do, go to letstalkpolygamy.com. Order a copy, order the bundle, do whatever it is you need to do so there's no more excuses, and we make it marriage great again by reminding people of polygamy, which is an ancient solution to a modern day problem. Letstalkpolygamy.com. Get your pre-sale order on. With that being said,
make sure you are growing intentionally,
loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level
every single day.
Visit the link. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Peace.
You have an issue with your husband taking care of, someone else's children. However, when he marries, the wife or marries, the other woman, that once again, those children are under his protection as well because they are part of his family. So the thing is that you have to ask yourself the questions. Ask yourself the question and be honest with your answers. Do you have to be friends? No, you don't have to be friends. But what is the benefit of not being cordial? What's the benefit of not being friends? And like I said, what is the reason? Is there any other person in your life that you've walked down the street or that you've seen in a place that you say, you know what, I am not going to be that person's friend just because just because it's that person. Like, everybody I've seen, they've given someone a chance if that's some, if they encounter someone. They spoke to them, they did those things, but this is a person that's being brought into the family. So to say that I don't even want to get to know a person that's being brought into the family, I don't want to get to know anybody else that my husband decided to marry, to commit to. What does that say about your emotional maturity or your mental intelligence, or that even mental intelligence, that makes sense? Those type of things. What does that say? Because when it comes down to it, a lot of it is not about the other person. A lot of it is about ourselves. If we have an issue with a particular person and we don't even get to know that person, or we have an issue with trying to get to know that person without trying to get to know that person, because we just say, you know what, they can stay over there because I don't want to know anything about them or their life or anything like that, only because they married my husband. That's something we have to think about. And as adults, and my thing is, I'm speaking to you as an adult. I'm speaking to those who are listening, those who want to get out of their egos, get out of their feelings, get out of their emotions, and say, you know what? I want to be a better person. I want to be outstanding. And maybe the societal standards or the societal norms is not working for me. It's leaving me bitter. It's leaving me confused. It's leaving me unsure. And I don't like it. So what I have to do is figure out what it is I want. Do I want to be better? Do I want to learn from other people? And maybe that's a reason, not that that's a reason why he married again, but maybe that's the reason why, the Most High, that Allah put this person in your life. Because maybe they can learn from you and you can learn from them. I know I learned a lot from my co-wife. I learned a lot from, my bonus children. I don't think I can see it any other way. And yes, people say, oh, well, the subsequent wife, they get the benefits of this and everything like that. That's another video for another time, because we all benefit in some way, shape, or form. I didn't have to wait to come into the marriage to benefit for anything. I did not have to get any type of kudos or approval to be the person that I am. Because I'm still going to be, the outstanding me as long as I work on being the outstanding me. However, I know that when it comes down to relationships and connection, which is one of the human needs, one of the basic human needs, is connecting. I know that I will be willing to connect with the people in my family, the people who I know that should have my back and I have theirs. You don't want to get into a position where you cannot, you don't want to get into a position where you don't even know how to navigate through anything with the people in your family because you did not get to know them. Because there are many things that can happen in our lives, and there are many challenges that can happen just for us to learn the lesson. So we have to be careful. We have to get out of our emotions, our ego, and start looking at things from a logical, big picture standpoint and ask ourselves, what would be the reason to not get to know the person who is entering into my family, that's marrying the man that I married, and anybody else that's coming with that, whether it be bonus children or anything like that? And give yourself the honest answers, because it's only with those questions and answering in a truthful way that we can gain clarity and we can improve ourselves and be the best we's, us's, and all that other good stuff that we can be. So Inshallah, God willing, you got some good information from this. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Until next time, make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share it, because sharing is caring. And I will see you soon. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.